Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of my Otterly Amazing class to go. This class to go is featuring the Otterly Amazing Bundle, which is brand new in our online exclusive release. You can grab this in my online store now. It is super cute. I cannot wait to share with you the project for today, the card for today. If you want to earn the class to go for free, all you need to do is place an order in my online store of at least $50 or more using the host code. The only caveat to using the host code is if your order is over $150, don't use the host code. You're going to earn some extra rewards with that $150 order. You will need the bundle to complete all of the cards. Your kit will not come excuse me, pre-stamped, and you'll need the dies to die cut all your little pieces. I will not be die cutting those pieces. I'll supply the cardstock, but you'll have to do the die cutting. That's part of the fun, right? So all the details to earn the class to go are on my blog, and they are also listed in the video description, along with that host code to make sure that you get that class to go for free. So make sure you check that out. So if you love the otters, you might want to consider getting this class to go because the cards have been adorable. So this is the card we are making today. This is another kind of fun fold take. So you see it has like this clear center. You open it up and you have that cute little stamped greeting inside. So this is the one we're making today. Now, if you missed days 1 and 2, make sure you go back on my YouTube channel or my blog and check that out. Yesterday for day 2, we made this one, this adorable little one that looks like the otter is swimming in the water, which is so cute. And then on day 1, we made this like triple card, this fun fold card, super cute card from day 1. So if you love any of those, make sure that you are getting that class to go simply by placing that order in my online store. Make sure that you're also subscribing to my YouTube channel so that you never miss a class to go, you never miss a video of mine. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the stamping. Now, to speed up the video a little bit, I have done all of the die cutting, and that includes the stamping of the little otter, and I die cut him as well. We do have a little bit of stamping and coloring to do on the inside of the card, so I'm going to grab that paper too. This is just a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4. So let's do our stamping on this piece so that we kind of know what we're doing, what we're coloring anyway. So I have the little tiny otter that is kind of running, and we're going to stamp that on the bottom right corner. And I'm just going to use some black memento for that so that we can color it with our Stampin' Blends. And then in the center of the card, let me put that away. In the center of the card, we're going to stamp in Lagoon. We're going to stamp the Love You Lots. And I'm going to try to get that straight, but you know, it's handmade, not Hallmark. So if it's a little crooked, it's okay. All right, let's do some coloring. Now, if you watched videos 1 and 2, the coloring is going to be very familiar to you because we are going to color it the exact same way that we have done video 1 and 2. So I'm going to zoom in. Sorry about that. Let me hit the reverse camera so you got to see my ceiling for a second. So let's go ahead and start with our little tiny otter here because he is quick to color. So let me open this up so we kind of know what we're doing. I am only using Pecan Pie Light and Dark for this, and I'm going to use my bullet tip because he is very little. And so I'm just going to use some dark along his belly here, along the bottom of his tail, kind of like this along his back as well. So real quick coloring on this little guy. And I guess he could be swimming too in the water. If you put him in the water, he could also be swimming. And so we're just going to give this a quick little wash of color with our Pecan Pie Light, making sure to kind of blend out those darker areas. You can do circular motions. You can just go over them with your marker, however you want to blend those out. Stampin' Blends are very forgiving. It's one of the reasons that I love Stampin' Blends so much because they are super forgiving. Now, I don't want him just kind of floating there, so I'm going to take my Lost Lagoon, and I have my light Lost Lagoon here, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of ground or maybe water beneath him just to make it look like he's not just floating in the middle of the air. So that is that little guy. So I'm going to move him out of the way, and we'll pull this one in. And we are going to color this one the exact same way as we've colored the other one. So I have my 800 marker. This is the natural tones that is in the light to medium tones. And we're just going to color his belly with that 800. And then I'll come in with my Pecan Pie Dark. Make sure this is dark, yeah. And we're going to give some darker shades down on the bottom here. And along his tail. I am really not doing a good job coloring, kind of going outside the lines here a little bit. And then this back foot, I'm going to do some dark. And then kind of under his chin and around his face just a little bit with the dark. And then we'll go in with our light and we'll just kind of blend all of that out. We'll color the rest of him with the light. And just make sure that you are hitting those dark areas. You're going over it with circular motions and just blending everything out. So like I said a few minutes ago, Stampin' Blends are very forgiving. You can blend with them. You can go back over them if you want it to be a little bit darker. You can add more color. You can't really take color away. We do have our color lifter, but it doesn't really take color away unless you really work at it. But it does kind of just move the color. But blends are very, very forgiving. And if you are a little bit unsure of how to color these guys, I would just stamp like a whole sheet of them and then just sit down and color a bunch of them, and you'll find a great way to color them. All right, I'm gonna go back in with my 800 just along where we blended that, just to kind of blend those little areas together with his belly. Okay, so that is our little otter ready to go. So let's pull this back a little bit so you can see the whole card. Okay, so let me pull out the rest of our card pieces here. So I have our card base. This is a Lost Lagoon base, and it is 5.5 by 6.5, and then it's scored at 4 1/4. So we only have a little flap here. And so we're actually going to burnish this really well. Then I have another piece of Lost Lagoon that is 5.5 by 1.5. And this is going to be our piece for down here on the bottom. Now you see that they're not going to meet up and touch, and that is intentional. But let's go ahead, let's get this piece down first. And this is that piece we stamped. This is gonna go right on the inside. Now you wanna make sure that when you stamp that guy, that you stamp him low enough in that bottom right corner that it will be covered like that. And then the greeting as well, you want to make sure is going to be covered. There is going to be like this 1/2 inch area that will be shown through the card. You just want to make sure none of your stamping is in that area. So when you're doing your stamping, just be aware of that. All right, so I have a couple of pieces of DSP that we're going to put on these, but we're going to wait just a second before we do. But we have a couple of pieces of DSP. I have a piece of window sheet that is 5 1/4 by 2. And I'm going to use my liquid adhesive for this, and I'm going to start on the top piece up here. I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive. I'm not going all the way to the edges because our window sheet is not going to go all the way to the edges. And I'm just going to lay this down. And the window sheet is the same width as that white piece underneath. So you can just kind of line it up with that white piece. Now to get our entire card assembled, we are going to glue it to this piece down here. And so I'm just going to lay this down, lining it up with the card base, lay that Lost Lagoon piece down, that 1 1/4 inch or 1.5 inch piece, Lost Lagoon. I'm going to put some liquid adhesive there, and we're going to glue that window sheet on just like that. So, excuse me. So that is going to create the little window in our card. So you can see that the window will be there, and we are going to hide all that adhesive with our DSP. So I'm going to pull in that DSP. This one is for the top. We have like this Lost Lagoon wave pattern, and this one is 5 1/4 by 2. So this one's going to go right on the top, and it is the same width as that window sheet as well. So we're just going to cover that up just like that. So it's just going to look like a seamless window. You'll never know that window sheet is down there. And then the little pebble piece is 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. And this one will work the same way. It's going to just cover up that window sheet on the bottom, so you'll never know it's there. Only you and I know. Okay. So now we have our entire card front ready to go. So it's still the same size as a regular size card. We have that fun window there with the window sheet, and everything is all one put together. So isn't that cute? I love it. All right, now I have already pre-stamped and heat embossed the greeting, "You're Otterly Amazing." I stamped that in Versamark. I sprinkled it with white embossing powder, and then I heat it up with my heat tool just until it melted. And we're going to stick this down here. I'm going to use dimensionals for that. I'm going to put one on the top and one on the bottom. Peel that off. Make sure you don't have any adhesive in the middle here because it will show through that window sheet. So you can see, you're going to see that on the inside. So don't put any dimensionals in the middle, just top and the bottom. And we're going to stick our little otter on. And I'm going to use just a couple dimensionals just in the center of him. His tail and his head are going to hang off a little bit, and so I don't want any dimensionals sticking down there. So I'm just going to stick that on just like that. All right, now I have some die cut pieces of greenery here that I have die cut using those dies. I have a pool party, you know, big leaf. I have a pretty peacock, some greenery here with the pretty peacock, and then some Lost Lagoon. So we are just going to go through. I'm going to use my Tombow glue, my liquid glue, and we're just going to kind of go through and adhere this down. If you need to trim any of these to make them shorter, you can. If you want to stick these down before the circle goes down, you can also do that. This one, I'm going to just tear it a little bit because I want it a little bit shorter. It's a little long, but just be careful when you're tucking these down, that if you tuck them too far, you might be able to see them through that window. So just be a little bit conscious about where you're tucking these. I have some more pretty peacock ones. Now you can cut as many as you want in whatever colors that you want. In your kit, you'll receive a variety of cardstock, so you will have plenty to work with. So if you only want a couple of pieces, that's fine. If you want to do more, that's fine too. These cards are totally yours. You can do whatever you want with them. Just a little bit like right there. And one more. Just a little bit of glue on the bottom. Just like that. Perfect. All right, we're going to finish this off with some of those beautiful pearls. So let me grab some of those. And we're just going to stick these down onto our card. It's so cute. These pearls are fantastic. They're nice and flat too, so I think they'll be great for mailing. Sometimes our embellishments are not post office friendly, but I think these will be. So that completes the card. I hope you guys liked day 3. It is so cute. I really love this card. I like that window. I think it's a really fun little surprise to have that little window there. And it's not too hard to assemble that, right? You guys can totally do it. All right, so this is day 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I have one more card in this series for day 4. Remember, if you want to get this Otterly Amazing class to go, you can place an order in my online store. All orders over $50 using that host code will receive this class to go. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow for day 4. Bye.